Okay, we don't need a long-winded intro screen because this is our second stream for the day. We're going to be playing a little bit more here today, especially to make up for some of the other streams we've been doing. But we are going to be working on trying to get some new deviations once again. Oh, our garden is producing some stuff. Cool. No new mushroom guys, unfortunately, but we'll go ahead and gather these up and plant them again in hopes of getting some deviations that way. But we could also go and try to get the mushroom guy. I did most recently get one of these guys. We got ourselves a blue butterfly now. It's pretty cool looking. It's like a cloudy sky looking thing. It's got some pretty neat effects to it too. It actually increases our weapon damage and our damage output with our weapons, and for our elemental damage, or status damage rather, which is fantastic. Do we have any more? No, no more of those. All right, mushrooms. We're gonna plant mushroom, 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 another mushroom, a mushroom again. We got flowers, mushroom, mushroom. How's the water doing? Water's doing great. Nope, we can't plant a truck. That's probably a bad idea anyway. Crush all our plants. Stop it! No! Go away. Bam. Okay, so. Oh, we can harvest this too. And then replant it. This, that, plant. Perfect. And then we come down over here. Bam, 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 bam. Contaminated berries. Yeah, get all that stuff turning into acid. Perfect. People want to buy premium fuel. Oh, a crisis event. Paradise Lost. I don't know if we've got all those done. We're going to do them. Whoops. Why did it switch my weapons like that? There we go. I guess we'll figure it out after this. Guess we didn't have all of our events done. 1200 energy link. I'll take it. Perfect. Paradise Lost complete. And since we're over here, we can go do this. People are selling Stardust ore. I'd never purchase the Stardust ore. You can get it yourself and not have to pay people for it. But I could see why people would sell it, because I don't see why people would buy it, but I can see why people would sell it. It does take a little bit of time to collect a bunch of it. You know what? Heck with this. We're taking a shortcut. Shortcut! Probably gonna get our vehicle drowned. Maybe if we go down here. And then go across here. Is this too deep? Nah, we got it. Okay, perfect. But can we get up here with the truck? Yeah, of course we can. Now we have to keep an eye out for silver. I still don't have the Diggy Boy deviations, so be nice to get that out the way as well. For right now, we're just gonna stay focused. And down the hill here. Oh, we're sliding. We're sliding. Hey, Stardust. There's that prismatic Diggy Boy that people were saying comes from Stardust, which I don't believe, because I've gathered so much. There's no way I wouldn't have got it by now if it does come from that. I think the highest tier material I've ever gotten a Diggy Boy from was the gold. Or not the gold, but the silver. And I've only ever gotten that. I have gotten a 5.5 Diggy Boy from mining silver, which is cool and all, but I want to get each of the different deviations just for collection purposes mainly. But yeah, if we can get a good one, I wouldn't be upset by that either. From what I understand, the prismatic is not very useful. The gold one has a chance to bring you back tungsten and aluminum. So that wouldn't be a bad thing to have. Be cool. And then I still need the blue mushroom that brings you back acid. There's sometimes gold or not gold, but silver in this area too. So we're gonna keep an eye out. I think that, yeah, it's aluminum. It's not gonna help me. And if we can get a bunch of these plants to give us seeds, that would be pretty freaking awesome as well. Tin, aluminum, no. But we're going to work on some base building here later. Right now, I just want to get a bunch of this stuff. If my buddy Soul gets on, we'll do some other things. But we'll see. He's a very busy, hard-working individual, so he may not have time to hop on today, but we'll see. You know what? We have 1,000,000 mushrooms. Let's eat one of those. Eat one of these. And eat one of them. Have some bread. Chop up another one of these. You would think the prismatic would come from chopping stardust, but I've never seen one. Everybody says it's coming from silver. You'd think the gold diggy would come from gold, but... Can I please get in my vehicle? Hello? Must have been a glitch. A silly little glitch. Someone must have been here with a fine-tooth comb, man. Get all the silver. It's alright. I know a couple other places where we can get silver, too. So, we'll go out there next. We'll just throw this ore into the trunk of the car if we get overburdened. Up. Whoa. Chuck's got some hops. Bam. Oh, that didn't work. At any rate, I hope everybody out there is having the best day they can. Second stream of the day, so I'm not exactly expecting a whole bunch of people to stop in and say hi, but if you are checking out the videos, I really do appreciate it. Been having a ton of fun with this Once Human. If you haven't tried it yet, I recommend. It's a lot of fun. And they don't have a bunch of pay-to-win mechanics in it either, which is great. There's no way to purchase weapons or stronger gear or anything like that via the cash shop. It's all cosmetic stuff, which is great. You either purchase the cosmetic stuff so you don't. Which is the way I like it. If they start adding in a bunch of pay to win, that means one of two things. The game is about to die, or they've just gotten greedy to try to bait people in. And in which case, I'll stop playing. I already feel like I got more than my money's worth. I went out, got to play through the first season. This is the second season I'm playing. Whenever they come out with the third season, I'll play that. And then pay to win comes in, I'll call it after that. But they've done a lot of work on the game. They've put in some fixes for some major issues that they've had. It's still got a long way to go. I think it's going to take a year before everything's like set in stone and they get some really good balance fixes in there. But the stability's gotten so much better since it launched. And I'm looking forward to seeing what new weapons and things like that they add for the next season. Supposedly they already have new guns and armor and things like that set up for the winter biomes that we're going to get into here in October. Like I said, there's a couple other games that I'm interested in playing here soon and making recordings for. So we got a lot of cool content coming down the road. And I really hope that you all enjoy. One last quick look. I'm not gonna comb through it too heavily, but do want to see if anything respawned. Looks like there's something down here. Because me and my buddy Soul have been farming gasoline so we can make dust. And oh, mushrooms on the ground. And the dust, hey, we got an extra large mushroom guy. Cool. It's not the one I wanted, because I already have one of those, but my buddy Soul's going to be happy. Whenever I get a duplicate deviation or anything, I always try to give it to him. And he's been doing the same for me. Like, if he gets a duplicate. Wonder what the stats are on this one. This one's a 4-3. Ooh. Snooze aficionado. I don't know what that does. We'll look and see what that stat does. And if it's something I want to keep, then he can have the higher tier 1. I didn't know there were all these mushrooms around here. But now that I do, we're going to check these every time we come out. Oh, more mushrooms. Yeah, there's a lot of mushrooms back in this wooded area. They're just buried under plants. That's really cool. Well, hey, we got our first deviation variation in a couple days, so that's great. I don't see any more mushrooms. Again, it's hard to see with all this grass, but yeah, that's really cool. I was kind of hoping for the blue one, if I'm being completely honest. That blue one is the one I don't got yet. But considering we got that, let's go back and put this ore away and figure out what that snooze thing is. Are there more mushrooms back here anywhere? Oh, an ore respawn. We'll grab that. We'll grab that mushroom and that mushroom. Probably won't get any more mushroom guys for today, considering. But we'll keep trying. There's a mushroom. Anytime we see mushrooms, we'll just grab them up. This is a pretty cool area. I mean, it's cool because it's got the dust in it, first off, but the mushroom thing is news to me. All right.
Go no further.
Go no further. Brr, 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 brr. I'm not trying to leave. I'm just trying to mushroom. What's your problem? Mushroom. Yeah, they're all buried under this grass. Ooh, contaminated wheat. We will take that as well. No, give me the mushroom. Alligator. There's an alligator. I think it's following me. Stay back, alligator. You don't want none of this. Mushroom. They respawn really fast, actually. So if you just sort of wander around in these woods. Another mushroom. More mushrooms. Mushroom, mushroom, mushroom. Some blueberries, mushrooms. Yay. Yeah, we probably won't get anything else. We still gotta try for diggy boys and stuff like that today, too. Alright, well, yeah, my buddy Soul will be happy with that. I don't think he's got the red top one. Let's go figure out what that snooze thing is. Oh wait, we didn't need to spawn that. Back to base. Bam. Your solar drill is being recharged. Okay, cat. You withdraw. And then we put in the new, let's see, this one. This one has that snooze thing in it. Let's see what this one does. Oh. No. We'll give that one the soul. Let's put our cat back in there. Okay, good deal. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Recharge our health real quick. Which one is it? This one? No, we can put those away anyway. This one. And then we're going to go to the electric furnace. Here we go. Got another 3,000 stardust coming. Bunch of silver and gold. Just to get it out of our inventory. Okay, next. Chop some stuff off in here. Good deal. Dismantle that, and that. That and that and that. All of these. That one. That one. That one. This, and this. Okay, next. Do we have anything that needs to be repaired? Yes, that. Oh, what about our armor? We're good enough. We can do some soloing of some bosses. Let's put the rest of our loot away. So we have room. Okay. By the way, these are all the things I'm still looking for. I don't have the blueprints for any of these items still. We have this thing. We don't technically need a blueprint for it. Paintings are really cool. Alright, let's continue. Another public crisis event? Sure, why not? Don't know if we need any more, but we're gonna go do it. Because this event is actually somewhere where I want to be. Kinda. Why aren't they getting stuck in the ice? Like they're supposed to. There must be a lot of people in this event. It feels like nothing's happening. Oh yeah, look at him lag all. Look at him teleport all over the place. That is bad. There we go. That's how it's supposed to happen. Let's eat and drink real fast. Okay. Off to the next place. Which is... Oh, a Prime War. Okay. That's even closer to where I want to be. Somebody catch me. Oh wait, I can go up higher. Up and up and up. Whee! Splat. Nobody caught me. It's just kind of rude, people. Supposed to save me. Somebody save me. Somebody? Anybody? Yay! Pick me up. Do it. Hey, thank you. Yay, 300 points. Hiya. Ow. Yeah, I need to switch the mod on this thing, by the way. I gotta try to find a different calibration for it. Want to sell shelves for Gold Diggy Boy. to buy a shiny shroom, 10K. I mean, I have one, but that one's souls. I refuse to give away something that is for my friend. And we don't need Stardust right now. Him and I are so good on Stardust. That would literally be a waste. I would feel better about helping out my friend than to give it away to somebody. We did it. $1,800. Bam, pop that, pop this, use this, and use that. Want to buy retro simple ceiling. How do you get apples for growth fertilizer? You go to one of each teleporter in the south. There's usually 2 to 3 trees around each teleporter. Jeremy's back. Welcome back, Jeremy. Driving around in my big old Jeep. Looking for shiny deviations. Bye, truck. Do you need to find a blueprint? No. There's no blueprint. Once you purchase the mimetic for it, you just simply take the you have to build the bigger garage. You can't just use the regular garage. You have to use larger garages in order to make them. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. I'm trying to get a hold of this tree. I wonder if my truck being there is stopping it from spawning. Let's set the truck over here. Nope, that didn't do it. Isn't it like a minute for it to respawn? No. It respawns at random, anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes. And people can't be close by. If anybody's close by, it can take up to a half hour to respawn. That person standing there is making it take longer to respawn. That person standing there is making it take longer to respawn. It's designed so that way nobody can sit there and camp it from 3 feet away. Alright, well if these idiots are just going to sit here and make it take forever to respawn, we're just going to leave. Ain't got time for that. I couldn't stop my truck in time and just barreled right into this other player. Luckily, we can't do damage to each other, or I'd have just killed that guy. Call them campers. Yeah, pretty much.
Go no further.
It's a problem that a lot of MMOs have, where players will hoard resources just to make sure that other people can't get it, and drive up the price of something so that way they can make a bigger profit whenever they sell it back to you. You know, basically like a pyramid scheme.
Go no further.
Cheap scammers, man. Those scalpers, I guess you'd call them.
Go no further.
But it's kind of like they do whenever that PS5 came out. A whole bunch of people went and purchased like 500 of them just so that way they could mark up the price and sell them back to people. Because now there's none on the market for other people to purchase. Ugh. You need to get your house out the way. Why you got a house there? Hey look, gold. I'll take that. I don't need it. I got like 500 plus golden bars sitting back at my base. They're so pointless, but need to dig them up to get the special diggy boys, so we're doing it. That's what the game wants us to do. Yeah. Is that silver? No, that's tin. Rip. No, the gold one is actually kind of useless. From what I understand, the prismatic one gives you better resources. But I'll take either one, to be honest, just for completionist purposes. I just like to be able to get all kinds of them. I got the blue butterfly today, and I'd like to get some new ones. Nope, that gold didn't work. That gold didn't work. Can't get Mr. Wish on this server. It's not PvP. It was originally on PvE servers, but they didn't mean for it to be. So it was accidentally spawning, and they took it away. Same with Dr. Teddy. So I missed out on the opportunity to get those, because they took it away before I realized they were going to take it away. No such luck. So what we're gonna do is drive back towards town and attempt to get gold and silver on the way back, and hopefully get some a diggy boy on the way, and we'll decide on what to do from there. Iridium crystals? I don't know what that is. Not in context to this game. Oh wait, maybe I do. Hold on. Hover out. Wait, let me see. Is that this? Is that the iridium? I don't think so. I know what you're talking about, though, now. I was being dumb, apparently. That's not the iridium. But any of the crystals that you need, you can just hover over a town and it tells you what it gives you. This town, no. This one, no. That's cloth. This one, right here. Level 27 areas. This one gives them to you. This one gives you the platinum. That one also gives you platinum. So yeah, all you got to do is hover over the towns and it will tell you what crystals they give. I don't know which ones iridium are, but it looks like level 20 to 30 areas, if I had to guess. I so rarely go to get those items that I don't even know what iridium looks like. That's so how rarely I ever need that stuff. I apologize. $38 is what I'm at. Yeah, then Chalk Peak most likely. If that's what you're hurting for, is those type of crystals, then yeah, just loot around where your current level is, and make sure you loot every single box, because those crystals don't just show up in the really big boxes. They also show up in like food boxes, they'll show up in dresser drawers. So hunt around a lot. If you fully loot a town, you'll get a lot of them. The problem is when you're first leveling, you go through them really fast because you're trying to upgrade your gear and all that stuff as well. So you're going to have to do it a lot of times. looting cars in the areas around those places that you need the crystals from will also net you a couple crystals. There's like box trucks crashed on the side of the road that will give them to you as well. Grab that. Yeah, my apologies. My brain wasn't thinking there before I answered. Yeah, that's not too... Getting the crystals and stuff isn't really too difficult. Honestly, it'd probably be faster to go through the small towns instead of the big towns. And by that, what I mean is like any of these towns that don't have like big like completions where you have to find so many gearboxes or you have to find so many weapon crates or you have to find the mysterious crate. These little towns, there's more of them and they're tightly clustered together and have more boxes than you would find in a large town. Usually what I do, but those small towns will also net you a lot of opportunities to get like building materials as well. Like you'll get housing blueprints and decorations and ooh, I thought I seen this one turn into a silver. Give me that. Wait, there's a rating? Did I just drive into a Prime War? Smash! That player's dead. They're dead. I win! I win the PvP. Haha, drive up this guy's vehicle. Meow. What you selling? Selling anything good? No? No? Okay. I'm not selling anything good, by the way. This person's running in the air, holding his bird like a boomerang. Alright, we gotta go injure ourselves so we can make points. Which is a ridiculous statement. Look at all these people. Hey everybody, look! Fire! Yep. Up. Go ahead and give somebody some points, because why not? What else do we got? We got one of these. Here, this might be fun. Explosions! She turned around like, what are you doing? Three, two, one. I did it. Ow. A question about PC. I was wondering if you could help. For sure. Feel free to ask. If I know the answer, I will gladly let you know. Smells like chicken. A little bit. It's definitely fried. I don't know if it's well done or just right, but it's done did it. Whoa! I did not. Hi, kitty. The cat just run by. But yes, feel free to ask team player. If I know the answer, I'll definitely give it to you if I can. Take this guy out. Look at that ice damage. Look at it. Just ticking away. Oh, it's immune again. Getting that 900. Got 900 points. Come on, stop being immune. There we go. Look at that frost vortex. Pull him in. That one's already dead. That one's dead. Are there any more? They usually make 3. Alright, I guess we're good. Does it mean that I lose all the games on if the application? Yeah, of course it does. For all the people who have games on Steam, the second that Steam goes out of business, you lose access to all those games. They're gone. Like, that they won't be able to maintain the game anymore. Like, that's just how it is. There's no such thing as ownership of digital goods as far as video games are concerned on the internet. That's false information. Anybody who says you own your games is lying to you. You're only purchasing a license to play it. At no time do you own anything on there. The second Steam goes, or the second that the people who are hosting Once Human go out of business, that's gone. I've come to the realization, do my research, but horrible to make. Yeah, digital games, man, they're so convenient to download and play digital games, but in all honesty, you don't own these things. You're just licensing them from the people who you purchase them from. Is there a possibility that they could find some way to allow you to download those things? Yes. But they would also have to give you permissions from the people who originally put the game out there for sale. And the difference being is, if you go to a store and purchase a physical copy of a game, even then, you're not even guaranteed nowadays to be able to continue to play that game. And the main reason being is you purchase a physical copy. Yes, you can install that anytime you want. But if that game goes under and they stop updating the game and the game requires an online connection in order to even play, that game is done. Because if they stop hosting the servers, you can't play your game anymore. From what I understand, there's actually a legal battle going on right now where a bunch of consumers are currently in a fight against a company, I think it's actually EA, where they're attempting to force the company to allow players to continue to play the game that they purchased, even though the servers will be offline. Giving people an opportunity to host their own servers or to make their own, whatever they want for it. But companies as of right now aren't obligated to care. So they don't, and they won't. until people push back, and hopefully one day we'll see a change in that. But for the time being, you don't own anything. You don't. You will own nothing, and you will be happy about it. Is the rule of law right now, and it's very sad. Oh, this person's selling some calibrations. It's about greed. I don't know about greed. It is greedy, but I don't think the main purpose is greed. I think the main purpose is selling people on convenience, and convenience sells like a lot. And like that's why businesses like you can go and have your groceries delivered to your house. You can go and get on Grubhub and have them drive takeout food to your house. You can go out and have people bring you your medicine. People go out there and bring you anything you want nowadays can be delivered to your door. And people will pay for it because it's convenient. People download games because it's more convenient than going out to a store that may or may not have sold out of the thing that you want. I'm not comfortable with any of it because if Steam goes out of business in the next 10 years, everything you purchased will be lost. All the money. Yeah, 100%. Like, that's a real possibility. Will it happen? I don't know. They have so much money in the market right now, and while they don't have a monopoly, they have a pretty strong foothold on the industry. So the chances of that happening within the next 10 years, I think, is slim to none. But I would hope that Steam would find a way to allow us, before they go out of business, to, you know, download our games in a way that we could store them on disk or to keep them on our hard drives. If you ever have to uninstall your stuff or change your computer at any time, you probably would lose them then. But, like, that's the risk you take by downloading digital items. And right now, like, I'm going to continue to purchase stuff on there, and if it goes away, then I'm for sure gonna be very upset by that. I understand, but my concern is not if I'm having millions of dollars or if they do not own anything to say. Really own nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate concern to have. It really, really is. I wish things could be different. I really, really do. And it's gonna continue that way again until people make a change. The real wake up call for situations like this is going to be when and if Steam goes out of business. The amount of loss that people will have if something like that were to happen would probably be big enough to really put it into perspective and get the right people to do something about it. right now, nothing like that has happened other than with like a couple smaller launchers like Battlefield and what was it? A couple of the a couple other EA things went under, a couple Ubisoft things went under. And people are losing access to those things left and right. So like the whole situation sucks. That's why I think console is the best option, because with a physical copy, require online and still play the game. While I agree with that sentiment, while I agree with that statement in some respects, you don't need to go out and purchase a physical copy for a console. There's plenty of games I own on console, on my PlayStation, that you can download without having to go and purchase a physical disc. And they're under no obligation to send you a physical disc. On top of which, a lot of games on PlayStation and or on Xbox still require an internet connection. You could go purchase Call of Duty on a physical disc. If the servers go under, you're not playing that game. If you go and purchase a physical disc of your favorite sports game, you're not going to be able to play online with other players. True, you could play by yourself or with somebody sitting next to you on a couch. But that is, of course, one thing that consoles do have over the computer, although you can still get physical discs for the computer. However, there are computers out there, including mine, that don't even have a disk drive. So you have that drawback as well. Now, from what the biggest issue with the reason why people don't like the consoles is because it's a machine in a box, and they're telling you you're not allowed to take it apart to upgrade it. Whereas the computers will always have higher power because we're allowed to upgrade the components within the machine. Meanwhile, console players are forced to wait for the next generation, which could take multiple years. Now, Xbox is trying to solve that issue, wherein they're going to start allowing people to upgrade their console components by taking it to a special shop to have it done. And they've been talking about that for years. Rather than going and saying, here's the next generation of console, they're going to say, the next big update for our console is available, and you can go to the store with your machine and have it updated. Which I think would be a huge turning point and a great thing for consoles. To be able to upgrade your system instead of paying ridiculous prices and hoping that there's enough availability of the console. Instead, you're just getting the part and upgrading. Some laptops have gotten rid of CD drives. Yeah. A lot of computers have switched to digital. And rather than using a physical disk drive to upgrade your computer, nowadays a lot of things are on thumb drives. So you just plug that thumb drive into your computer, and that will restore a lot of the issues. So there's benefits to both. Like, I play on both. I don't see any problem with that. The one thing I don't do on a console is play shooters unless I have a mouse and keyboard plugged into it. I used to primarily play like my Final Fantasy 14 on there. I used to play Final Fantasy 11 on PS3. I used to play way back in the day. I loved my Twisted Metals. I really wish they'd bring that back. I understand the difference between, yeah, it's not that difficult to go over. But yeah, the having consoles is nice in that respect, but you can get the same thing from PC. It's just because of the ease of getting games, people will still not go out of their way to purchase a physical thing. And what makes it even more difficult is places like GameStop and a lot of the other game stores where you could get those games readily available to have gone under. Like, I remember a day where you could just go down to Toys R Us and purchase any video game you wanted, but even they're under. Like, and a lot of places that you go to nowadays, even Walmart has a very small selection of video games that you can get anymore, which again makes it difficult. Is it impossible? No. You want something bad enough, you'll go to enough places and you'll find it. But again, it's more about the convenience side of things, in my opinion. Let's take Modern Warfare 3. Sell you a physical copy, but you're online, download a bunch of packages. They're on physical copy. Yeah. There's a big drawback with that kind of physical copy. Take another copy and like, yeah. One of the big problems nowadays I see with, especially, let's just say AAA games in general. A lot of AAA games nowadays come out and have day one patches. And that day one patch is not on that disc that you purchased. And a lot of these games come specifically if they sell you an early copy, so you can go get your copy and install it on your computer. You still can't launch it until the same day as everybody else when you install a patch on day one. In order to do so, they lock it behind a code on the disc. So that's a problem. You can't even unlock your disc at that point. And the other issue, especially with AAA lately, is that these games come out in a horrible state. Bugs, glitches, lag, just broken states, AI that can't do anything proper. You have to go down and download patches for up to a year on some of these to get them working. That back in the day, like before the internet, you could download it, you could take a game, put it into your computer, and it worked. Or you took it back to the store and you got your money back. You can't, half the time you can't even get your money back with some of these. It's so bad. It's not everybody would have the internet, so new games come out. Internet can't be purchased. New game. Yeah, basically. Like Myst in the 90s. I really liked the Myst games, actually. I don't know if you remember it, but they tried to do like an MMO version of Myst Did you ever play that one? I think it was called like You Are You or something like that, where you play as you and you're trying to solve all these mysteries. And I played that for a good bit of time. I liked it for what it was. The problem is you would get to a place and all the puzzles would be solved already, so you didn't get to have any of the fun. Like, stopped playing it right after that. If they sell you a physical copy, don't require me to use the internet. I can just buy a copy when I can. Yeah. I just absolutely, I 100% agree with you. Like, and the real conversation, rather than being around concern for these issues, is how do we fix these issues? And the number one thing for me always seems to finding a way to make companies accountable for the products they put out. Like, no other product company out there can get away with some of the things that the game industry does. Like, you go and buy a new car, I guarantee the thing works, or else there's going to be some big lawsuit. You go out and you purchase a game and it doesn't work, people just say, on to the next game. They're not required to do anything else except for say, whoops, you know what I mean? There's no accountability that seems to take place. And it seems like, I'm wondering if nowadays a lot of gamers aren't getting pretty fed up by this, because you see more and more about players doing boycotts or talking about these kind of things online, where they're going after people a little bit more heavily for their misuse of the system. And hopefully one day we'll see some sort of change. It was the same thing with like loot boxes. When that happened and all of the people stood up and said, okay, that's enough of this. You're introducing gambling to young kids, and that stuff isn't even allowed until you're certain ages in certain regions. So it shouldn't be allowed in your software. And what did companies like EA do? EA went and they decided, oh, let's be funny and put literal slot machines in our sports games. And they still do it to this day and don't care, even though people have attempted to put regulations on this stuff. Like, until there's a really strong hand put down, these companies aren't going to change. And us gamers, just regardless of what side of the fence you're on, whether it be console, whether it be PC, whether you're on a Mac or Windows or Linux, we're all in the same boat. These companies are basically holding our games and our wallets hostage at this point, saying you can't have this anymore. Open up your accounts, give us everything, and on top of that, here's a bunch of microtransactions that you can have to give us even more money. Like, the whole situation is shady, and I don't like it, but I, being one person, can't change that. we would need a bunch of people doing a lot more to make an actual difference, hitting some of these companies in their wallets before there's any real change. That whole thing is going to completely wrong. I am from a poor country. Couldn't buy a console and the internet, play a game right. Playing poor country, cannot enjoy the game. Because all the stuff requires the internet. Yeah. If I buy my nephew a PlayStation 5, I get a physical copy and consider it a physical because he's in the country. Some of the village. Yeah, see, that's a legitimate concern. Like, if you're in that situation, for sure, get yourself a console. Getting, even if you were to get an older console, like the regular PlayStation or an old school Nintendo, like the games back then didn't need updates because they were required to come out in a decent state. Like, there's some amazing games that I still, to this day, play on PS2. Like, you can get yourself an older console, and a lot of the games on there don't require the internet because it didn't have an internet connection. PS3 becomes a little bit more difficult to get a game that doesn't have an internet connection because a lot of those need day one patches to unlock the disc. There's PS4, PS5 are far worse. Every single one needs some sort of patch in order to be able to play. And a lot of them come out in some pretty bad states, so if you don't update them, they're barely playable because there's so many bugs and issues. PS4 was great. I have a lot of like Final Fantasy games on there that are a lot of fun, and you don't need an online connection to play it. I was actually talking to my buddy from Peru here, and he was telling me all kinds of stories about where he's from, and everything's so messed. Yeah, everything. It's a horrible state to find yourself in. But he's telling me about, you know, all of the situations that he had to go through as he was growing up, and I mean, not everybody's rich. Like, even if you're from a rich country, that doesn't mean that you're at the top of the food chain. Most of us make money, of course, but there's homeless people in America. There's people who barely scrape by with the money they make, and there's people who get lucky in life and obviously have a little bit more money, but not everybody is Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Don't just have infinite funds to throw around. But in the circumstance of being in a country where you don't have very much, then if you have the opportunity to get a console, then I'm sure that's an exciting thing, which is great. And I hope you really enjoy that. But yeah, that would be my opinion. Get yourself a like anything PS4. Get yourself an old Nintendo. A lot of those games are still great. Like I could go and sit down. There was this game on regular Nintendo called Destiny of an Empire. Love that game. It was pretty much the original Dynasty game, and oh my, it's so much fun to play because you go around, you collect your little characters, you have them fight, and you basically become a king by the end of it. It was one of my favorites growing up. And then there was, oh, here's a double element. What is this? Rapid? No, I don't want rapid. There was another one. I used to play the original Goonies on there. The Shadow one was, what was it? Shadow Heart? Or something like that. That was pretty good. Tropical Isle, that was fun. No one without the internet cannot enjoy a little simple thing like a game. Yeah. Well, oh my god, what happened there? That person's truck just took some damage. So as far as that's concerned, there's actually a game development studio coming out here very, very soon that is attempting to make a game that's not going to require the internet to continue to play, but the game isn't finished, and that's also a problem because, like, if the development studio shuts down and the game is in early access, which is technically a game that's not finished, then that game, you'll be able to play it, but you won't have access to the full thing. And if for whatever reason you don't have the internet, then that's gone too. But they're at least trying to do away with a lot of the big microtransactions that are pay to win, so that's something. But yeah, the whole situation in gaming is ridiculous. It's surprising considering it's the biggest entertainment industry right now. Like, it surpassed movies, television. It surpassed all of that. And yet, it's the one industry that has the fewest regulations and consumer protections, which makes no sense. Nobody is held accountable. If they ever are, it's a slap on the wrist. It's really sad. However, just in case you end up, before you leave there, team player, I did want to say thank you for the conversation. I do so love talking with people. I know what it's like to grow up in the 90s playing Super Mario, Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis was amazing. That was my favorite console for sure. Jurassic Park was the best. I don't care what anybody says. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was pretty good too. Really enjoyed that one. And I think that was Super Nintendo. Now as they get older, I live in the United States of America, not everything can afford to pay. Yeah. I fully get it. Yeah. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but out of curiosity, where were you originally from. I love hearing people's stories about from where they're from. Like I said, my good friend Soul, who joins us here on stream occasionally, is from Peru. My moderator, Tashi, who I absolutely love, is from South Africa. And just listening to their stories about where they grew up is very fascinating. I just absolutely love it. Guyana. Oh, okay. That's probably the first time I've ever met anybody from that area. That's really cool. Man, what a huge culture shock difference between there and here, I'm sure. I'm not even sure I know which part of the world that is. Let me look. It's next to Brazil. Okay. Okay, so it's in South America. Okay. Yeah, next to Brazil. That's really interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. I like learning about new cultures and new places. I think that's one of the really cool things about being on the internet and streaming and stuff. You have an opportunity to meet people who otherwise you wouldn't have had the opportunity to interact with. Meeting people from all over the world and from different cultures, and you just get the opportunity to learn so much. I absolutely love it. Not all of the stories are great because there's bad things happening all across the world, but like it's still really interesting to see and hear other people's perspectives. Every other countries around speak Spanish. Yeah, my buddy from Peru is native Spanish speaking. There's a lot of Spanish speaking countries out there, actually. A lot. I think far more than there is English. That's something I should probably learn at some point. Maybe I'll have my buddy Soul teach me how to speak Spanish. Oh, learning from your friends is usually not the best way to learn, though. As much as I love my buddy, they don't know. I don't know. I don't know how well that would go for either of us, really. Because I'm thick-headed and he'd probably get frustrated. A level 5 cat. Oh, I got it? Sweet. It's a 5-4. That's better than my 5-3. Here, we'll leave that 5 on the ground for somebody. Maybe they'll want it. So you understand what I mean? Such a shame that need the internet for little games. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. It is absolutely ridiculous that nowadays it's a requirement. I've gone through periods in my life without being able to access the internet because I was too broke to do so. Heck, I was homeless for a couple years of my life. I lived out on the street. I lived by a river, just flipping over rocks and using old fishing string and rusty hooks to catch fish to eat. Like, I've been there. I've done that. I know what it's like. It's not everybody is privileged enough to be able to go out and do some of these things. It's rough out there. I right now am only where I'm at now because a man took me in and helped me out. And it could have gone a lot worse. They could have taken me to their place and murdered me for all I know. But like, I got lucky. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, it must be a pretty big culture shock going from there to here. And I'm glad that even if you are having a hard time, that you're here and you're having the opportunities that you are. Because I'm sure there's programs out there that can help a lot of people, and I know this because I've had to have these programs help me out in the past in order to get me to where I am and being able to have a home, able to have a family. And it's not easy out there. But the fact that you're forced an internet connection is not great. And for game genres like MMOs, like I'm playing here, it's always required. So, yeah. You know what it's like growing up getting... Of course I do. Everybody knows what it's like to have somebody who's richer than you are. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from. I used to go to my buddy's house because they had all the newest games, and we would sit on his couch and play games all day. I'd go home and I'd sleep on a cement floor with nothing but cardboard boxes and egg crates on the ground. You know, so like, I've been there. I've done that. Like, it's you make do. You get older and then you promise yourself that you're not going to put other people through the things that you went through as a young kid. Like, a lot of the things that I went through, I promised myself I'm not going to put my kids through, you know? Do they always appreciate it? No. Little brats. Still love them, but they don't appreciate anything. And they won't until they're adults. and see the kind of stuff that we had to go through. Paying bills and working jobs, and that's when they'll appreciate it. New games, new consoles, because they took it away. I heard of some countries that you were forced, like, what was the game? That Helldivers game. They like forced players to sign into a PlayStation account in order to continue to play the game. And some countries didn't have access to the PlayStation accounts or the online services for PlayStation, and they lost the ability to play the game. Is that what you're referring to, Team Player? If so, like, it's a pretty scummy thing to do. Cat. Because people in the country are afraid of internet, but not having internet away from the console and games. Yeah, see, that's a completely different circumstance. Like, a lot of governments heavily control what their population is and isn't allowed to see and do. A lot of countries do that. And I mean, while I can sit here as an American and say it's not right, it's also not my place to judge what other countries do. It's up to them and their government to make changes, and that will either come with time or with mistakes, and it's not my place to judge them. From an outside looking in, it's a horrible situation. And I'm sure from the inside looking out, we are horrible. In fact, they tell us frequently. But in all honesty, I think if we could just learn more about each other, and we would see there's not much difference. Everybody is just people, and they want to live their lives. And what their government does isn't always the best thing for peace. But I mean, that's just the reality of the world we live in. Referring to not everyone in the country, refer to the internet. It should be that way. New generation. You should be able to buy the game and console. Is any of it wrong you can do without the internet? Yeah. Like there's some internet services that nowadays, especially here in the United States, where you you can't even use your phone without the internet nowadays. You can't, like, except for emergency reasons, you can't even call for an ambulance unless you put internet minutes on your phone. Like, it's not just the gaming industry that's suffering in that respect. The internet has become this thing that if it were to go down tomorrow and the internet wouldn't exist, a lot of human lives would be lost. People would die. Like physical, painful deaths if the internet would go down. It's so bad. I've heard horror stories about people not knowing if you can eat an apple from an apple tree without looking it up on the internet first. Like, how do you know you can't eat an apple? It's so sad. It's so sad. I can't even with that conversation, because it's like people were born and not taught basic common sense things anymore because they have the internet, and if they need to know something, they'll just look it up. What happens when you can't? What happens when the internet's shut down for a day? Don't get me wrong, I fully understand that the United States is better off than a lot of other countries. But to be fair, our internet services are nowhere near as good as some other countries as well. Like there's a lot of other countries out there that got much better internet than we do. But we're still very privileged, and that needs to be taken into consideration. So, I'm not going to say we aren't. But the internet has a scary amount of power over humanity right now, and not just in the United States, in a lot of places. I don't, like, you read that, I'm sure a lot of places have heard about that update that a security company did to one of their systems that turned off access to computer systems across the country, shutting down airlines and people's computers and anybody that was running that internet software security system on their computers. Like, it's insane that one little mistake on the internet can mess up so many things. We're in trouble if it ever goes down one day. It's scary. What is the deviant you caught? The experimental cat. This thing. You can get the experimental cat in every city. Or not every city. You can get the experimental cat in Greywater, inside the house next to the teleporter. You can get it at Tallgrass Inn in the middle of the lake. And then you can get it at Blackfell, right at the food stall next to the teleporter. And there's actually 3 different variations of the cat. There's this black cat that you can get, there's an orange cat that you can get, and there's a Siamese cat that you can get. I have all 3. I'm trying to get a bunch of other things, so right now we're going to a place to... Oh. Right now we're trying to go to a place to try to get cats. Or not cats, mushrooms. Which is... Oh. Okay, on the way we'll stop over here and try to get... we'll try to get a bumblebee. I was kind of hoping my buddy Soul would get on, but he hasn't gotten on yet. I haven't seen him log in at all. Maybe I just missed him log in? No, he hasn't gotten on. Looks like Tashi is offline too. I think Tashi thought I was logging out for the day. And answering some questions concerning PC gaming consoles. Only one that sees these things. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you having a talk with me, team player. Thank you for stopping in. I really do appreciate it. I love having conversations with people and learning about new places. It's been a fantastic conversation. Trying to drive slow here in case we find any silver. So, Jeremy, hopefully I'm not keeping you up past your bedtime there. Oh, excuse me, car. Let's go see if there's a bumblebee. Bumblebee. Oh, that's a tree. Hey, I see a bumblebee. Bumble. Level 1. No. We're going to leave that there for other players. I'm not going to take that. Maybe some other player wants it. We have a better bumblebee. We are going instead... Where is... down here. Zombie mode, like a broken record. Yeah. Kinda. Internet in Dubai has a 9G service. Heck, I can barely afford one. And that's freaking sad. Like, my internet service costs more than my mortgage. And you know why? Because the internet service here, there's only one service provider, so they can charge us whatever they want. And they do. I guess when I decide to buy a new console I have to be very careful about the physical copies. So one of the things about getting a new console, I would consider Nintendo before you consider any other one. In my personal opinion, they probably have more games that take less internet. Like, Nintendo would probably be your best bet. PlayStation has moved towards this thing where you have to pay them extra money just to get access to the internet and to have access to all these other services and to be able to update your games half the time. Xbox is worse because they share their games with the PC, and so they expect that you already have the internet. Honestly, like, I think Nintendo would be the best bet if you're trying to get the most games without needing an internet service. Do they have ones that require the internet? Sure. But they'll have more games that won't. Yeah, it fills your hard drive. Yeah, you need like multiple hard drives if you want to get console that way, for sure. Oh yeah, and to get a hard drive for those consoles is expensive. Super expensive. Like, you can get a third of a computer for the price of some of those hard drives for consoles. But you can go out and get a Nintendo, like, even the newer Nintendos probably still have games that you can go out and purchase and not need an internet connection. You can go out and get yourself all those get you some Pokemon games or some Monster Hunter games, or like they even have movies that you can purchase and watch on there from a disc, and you don't need the internet for. Like, 5 years, terrible storage, like $150. Yeah, it's horrible. Like, I had to purchase, whenever I started using my PS3 to play Final Fantasy 11, I had to purchase this huge brick of memory in order to play the game because it took so much hard drive space to install. And then you had to buy this adapter that hooked to the hard drive just to have internet on PS3, because most of the PS3s didn't even have an internet connection. So the PS3 would have a lot of games on there too that don't require it. But honestly, I think Nintendo's the best bet as far as consoles without an internet connection goes. You just have to be careful about which games you purchase. Look them up. Be very careful that they give you the appropriate games with it. Everything now takes internet, which is ridiculous. Not just hard drive, graphics card, new Intel chips. Yeah, like they had a, as far as graphics cards go, Jeremy, they had like issues not too long ago during COVID where they couldn't get the chips to even make the cards because there was such a shortage. because they had to limit how many people worked in a factory, they had to cut back on how many were being produced because there were not enough people working on them. So, yeah. The what? I'm just going to pretend like that was a Google Translate issue because I have no idea what you just said right there. Oh, the what? Nvidia's? Maybe Nvidia? Is that what that was meant to say? Yeah. Alright, well. Yay! I can translate better than Google. At least that jumbled speech, anyway. It was still partial English, so it counts. It counts. I'm counting it. Anyway, I've been sitting here for a while. I really need to get up and stretch my legs before I get some sort of blood clot or something. Give me a minute or two to just walk around and grab a drink, and I'll come sit back down and we'll play for as long as I have time for. My wife does work from home, for anybody who doesn't know, and as such, I'll need to be offline before she starts working. But we will go for longer today. I really wanted to play some extra games today for my buddy Jeremy, who's having a hard time of it right now. So we're going to continue to play after I get back. I apologize. Just be with wife. No. She's going to be working. There's no being with her at that point. It's just I can't be hogging the internet while she's trying to do her work from home. So anyway, I will be right back. I apologize, and we'll continue. Alright, sorry about that. Took a little bit longer than usual. A moth got in the house, and I was trying to help my daughter catch it in a jar so she could put it outside. She likes bugs. As a matter of fact, she brought a praying mantis into the house yesterday. Was showing it off. Me and my daughter actually kept a couple praying mantises one year for pets, and released them whenever they were ready to do the whole mating thing. So that way they could go make more. One year we kept a couple, and they actually laid eggs inside of the container where we were keeping them. And it's a lot of fun. Like, people, I think some people still believe the myth that praying mantises are endangered, but they're not. A lot of those myths about praying mantises being endangered and you shouldn't kill them and blah 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 is because farmers didn't want people killing them because they're extremely useful for gardens. Which I agree with. You shouldn't kill them. They're fantastic creatures, and usually they're pretty gentle. They don't go out of their way to bite anybody. And if you raise them from when they're nymphs, which is what a baby praying mantis is called, they're usually, as long as you handle them a lot, they usually don't bite. But if you're unsure or you haven't handled one in the past, definitely don't handle the adults, because if you handle them wrong, they will bite you, or if you squeeze them, they will bite you. But they're usually not poisonous or venomous, because they don't got any of those parts to sting you or nothing like that. But definitely learn more about them and respect nature for sure, because they're pretty cool. Definitely recommend, if you're going to get an insect as a pet at some point in your life, praying mantises are a great way to go. And as long as it's a native species, you can release it into the wild and let it reproduce. Or you can keep the eggs, and most praying mantis species you can keep for up to a year before they die. You don't want to be introducing any animals to the native population that don't belong there. But absolutely see which ones are around your area and consider getting ones, even if you don't want to keep them in your house. I know around here where I live, they have one smaller species that I don't remember the name of, but they also have like larger Carolina mantises that they're all over the place, and you can actually purchase them and release them into your garden, and then you'll occasionally see them when you're cutting your grass or when you're doing things around the yard, and they're really, really cool looking. Like, I think there's special sites that have a lot of regulations around them, which is a good thing, because again, you don't want to introduce anything that's not supposed to be there, but at the same time giving you the opportunity to add some more nature to your yard. And yeah, they're real cool. But they do get pretty big, but they're so easy to take care of. Super easy to take care of. Like, they take next to no effort. You just give them a couple crickets every now and again. Some mantis species don't even require feeding every day. Some of them you can feed by hand. Some of them you can let them drink out of your hand. Like, they'll eat most living things. You catch a moth or some lightning bugs, they'll eat those right up. The only bad thing is with mantises is the larger species will eat birds and lizards, and I've seen them eat hummingbirds and snakes. So they will compete with other predators and even kill and eat those predators. So you gotta be mindful of that. But they will get rid of the caterpillars or anything like that that shows up to try to eat your crops. So a lot of fantastic things out there for you to get. Oh, here's a bumblebee. Hello, little bumblebee. What level are you? If you're not a good level, why does my FPS drop looking at that thing? That is weird. Alright, that's great. I think we're just overworking the computer today, that's all. But yeah, for anybody who's still here, I appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a good evening. We're just looking for some deviations right now. We're gonna try to run a couple things here in a minute, but we're hanging out, having a good old time. We went into a little bit of real talk there, talking about consoles versus PCs. We were talking about online services for video games. We were talking about a lot of the issues in schools. We played some Icarus earlier. We're playing a little bit of extra streaming today for my good buddy Jeremy, who's having a hard time right now. So we're gonna be going for a little bit longer here. Again, I hope you all have been enjoying your time, and you know, consider hitting those likes and subs if you are having a great time, and we'll continue playing games here. But we have a lot on our plate right now. I also have, we're not going to do these late streams too often. I do have a lot of recordings I gotta finish to get those up on the channel. I got another game to start recording soon, and another one that's coming out soon, and another one that's gonna come out soon. And I gotta record those, but they're not out yet. Either way, we're 2 bosses away from finishing recording on Core Keeper. And then after which, we're going to start up Forever Skies. And then I'll get that recorded and uploaded. We're also working on... We're going to do that Rika game. Looking forward to that. I can't wait. Like, I just got some editing to do in the morning, and we can get our first Core Keeper uploaded. It's gonna be nice to have. It's nice to have all this content available to us, for sure. Go for it. Go for what? Looks interesting. Which one looks interesting? Core Keeper? Core Keeper, yeah. And Core Keeper is a lot of fun. Even though it's a pixel art game, I've actually had people like Tashi tell me, "Oh, I don't play pixel art games because because the graphics, because of the graphics." Like I don't understand that argument, but at the same time, like play what you want to play. You know what I mean? I don't need top-end graphics to have a good time with a game. I mean, I play a ton of indie games that have terrible. Oh, that was some lag. As long as the core gameplay is good, I'm fine with it. Like going out, gathering, bringing back the resources, building up your base, making something cool, and then fighting all the bosses, and even some of those little pixel art games can be challenging. I like it. Since we're here, we're gonna pick a random place. I think there's 3 different types of butterflies. I have this blue one. That's amazing, by the way. So we're probably only going to use this one, but I wouldn't be upset to get a higher level one. Oh, this person's doing a mod farm for alpha? Sure. Team is already full. RIP. We missed it. Nice landing. I mean, yeah, could have been worse, for sure. Like, a lot worse. Could have broke all the legs. Like, every single leg. So, both of them. 2 of them. Squirrel! Come here, squirrel. Where are you at? Hey, you. Run. Run, squirrel. Run! Run away! You have no survival skills. 0. Stab the squirrel. Oh my God. All right, hold on. Yeah, that squirrel just stopped. He's like, all right, fine, I'm dead anyway. Just kill me. There was 0 self-preservation built into that squirrel. Oh, hey, look, the random server we picked has a deviation in it. Let's go check it out. We're under attack. Oh, no. Shut up. Oh well, it's not a special one, but we'll grab it anyway, just so that way there's a chance that a good one shows up for people who want it. There's another event going on. Let's go do that. But yeah, if you change worlds too many times on this game, it causes some lag issues. I don't know why that is, but my FPS tends to drop when I switch servers. So, we might have to go back to the main menu to fix it. As a matter of fact, we have 2 minutes to this one. Let's relog and see if we can get back in time to finish the event. King of the Hill? No. There, that fixed the FPS issues. No. We're trying to secure an area that has been corrupted, and it's going to cause a giant boss to spawn, and then we have to kill that boss. this thing here. Looking to trade prints for white hex tile. I would if I had it. Another 1,200 bucks. I'll take it. There's another public crisis event going on. Dark Side. Dark Side World 4. Okay. We might as well take part and then go grab another butterfly if there's one. Man, people are killing stuff faster than I can get my hands on them. Oh, there must be lag because my frost vortex isn't going off. Done. Dark Side complete. Got a suffix box. Cool. Just barely finished that one solo. Yeah. Some of them solo can be a little bit difficult. But there is a very fast way to recruit people to go and do that. I'll show you that here in a moment. There is a butterfly. Let's go see what butterfly we get. Is this one different? It is. It's a blue one. You did not just melee me while I'm trying to catch a butterfly. What's wrong with you? Bam. Got a Starry Night butterfly. Is that better than the one we have? Let's see. It's a 2/2. Praise the moon. Is that different than the one we have? Hold on, let's go home and check. I thought the one I have has Praise the Sun. No, Praise the Moon. Growing Pains 1. Max deviation power plus 30. Max recovery speed minus 5. So, overall, it's going to be stronger. Here, withdraw this one. And I'll give the other one to my buddy Soul. Deposit. So the skill rating means it will do more damage overall. Unfortunately, its maximum power is lower, but it will regenerate its power faster. But the max power means it won't stay out for as long. Basically, I want this worn out thing gone, so I have to keep trying to find better ones, but it will do more damage while it's out fighting with me, so that's good. It'll probably equate to the same overall amount of damage just because it's just because the way it is, but it's not too bad. But my buddy Soul will be happy to have that, I'm sure. Grab this. So 15, I owe him 1600 Stardust. I gotta give that to him. Yeah, that area has butterflies too, but they're not very strong. If I wanted a stronger version of that, I would need to go to a higher tier area to get them. I wonder what level's his Bumblebee. This is a 3-3. I don't want to take his stuff out. Let's see. Green guy 1-1. Only the owner can perform this action. Okay. I was gonna put it in there to surprise him, but we'll do it once he gets back. Anyway, let's go give him this Stardust. Stardust. Wait, why don't I see it in here? Is my... What? Are my eyeballs malfunctioning? What? Oh, here we go. There we go. 1600. What do you do with contaminated wheat? You take the contaminated wheat and you put it into these barrels here. Right here. The little wine barrels. With purified water right here on top. Contaminated wheat on the bottom. Like this. And contaminated stuff. And it makes acid for you. And acid is used for a lot of stuff. Anybody? Source and Mars, yeah. Selling calibrations at 5. The contaminated stuff is only comes from like the polluted areas that have a lot of fog in it and make acid. The deviated items make high tier foods but don't make acid, so that's probably the biggest difference. The deviated items, you want to save those for making high-end foods for like endgame. And once you've gotten to the point where you're at endgame, you want to make gardens, and then you can put mutation foods or fertilizers in your garden to try to make more deviated plants, which will give you a ton of really high-end foods. And of course, if you see them just laying there with those red lights on them, grab those too. The contaminated plants are all going to be like purple. They're going to be like black and purple. You grab those and hopefully get a seed and replant them in your garden. And you can make some more contaminated plants. And if you plant those with yield boosters, you can make yourself a lot of acid for free. Right now, that's what I've been working on, is trying to get a whole bunch of acid either to sell or to use. Still trying to find gold and silver so we can get a diggy boy. Slowly but surely, we're starting to get those deviation variants. I think there's one more butterfly deviation that I don't have. I'd like to get one of each. And there's 2 diggy boys I don't have and 1 mushroom. How much acid? I mean, it depends on how much you play. Like, if you're only playing a couple days a week, then chances are you won't need much, because you're probably not going to make it to endgame, and you're not going to be participating in the endgame events. The acid you really need for not really too much of anything in the early stages. At endgame, there's special missiles and things like that you're going to need to build. There's... Oh, I've never seen 2 golds right next to each other. Maybe this is a good sign. No, it wasn't. The biggest and most important thing you're going to want is the Stardust, because that allows you to upgrade your armor. Using acid for smelting. It's true, if you want to make yourself high-end armor, you will need it for smelting, but you really don't need too much. Finding a place that has a polluted area, like where my base is located, there's this place over here on the coast that is contaminated. There's this place on the coast that's contaminated. There's a factory way over here that has pollution in it. There's a town down here that's contaminated. There's another town down here that's contaminated. There's a region over here that's contaminated. This place is contaminated. There's a pretty large area up by these hills that are contaminated. And all these places will have pollution. Using a water collector where it rains and is polluted will give you polluted water. Putting the polluted water through a purifier will get you acid. Will give you impure acid. Putting the impure acid into a barrel with pure water will get you regular acid. Or you can use a water pump in the ground in areas that have high pollution, and that will also get you polluted water. And again, the polluted water gives you impure acid, which you can then turn into regular acid. So it's very easy to get acid. It's a lot more difficult to get both acid and oil in the same place. Oil you'll need in order to make stardust ore, and gasoline into stardust source, or which gives you all of your stardust. It's a fantastic way. The place I'm in gives both acid and the stardust. And Soul and I have been making a ton of really good progress in the game really fast, because I managed to get that location early. Next season we'll be in that winter, like, Arctic biome, and I'm not sure where the oil is going to be in that biome. Same thing, use the water pump. So look, if I go into here, you go to your facilities, and you get yourself a water pump. Putting it in water will give you dirty water. Putting it on land will give you oil, but only if you're in regions where these dark lines are. So right in here, pretty much anywhere, there's dark lines here, there's dark lines there. All along this river, you'll get oil if you put your water pump into the ground. Very easy to get oil. That's where my base is. Okay, well, then you should be able to get oil. Black Pond, like, river place. Yeah, that's, you're probably talking about, like, right in here somewhere. There's big oil ponds all over the place in there. But you can put your water pump on top of those, and it will give you oil. If you're near a place that's contaminated, it will give you oil and polluted water. But once you have the oil, what you're going to need to do is go and get your... You have to purchase it with a mimetic. Where is it? You need an oil refinery for it. Can't remember where it's at, though. On outdoors. Where is it on this list? I know I have it. Oh, right here. The oil refinery. And if you put the oil in there, and it takes a long time to turn into gasoline, but you can put the gasoline in there again, and it turns into refined gasoline, which can more effectively fill up your gas tanks, but is also used to make missiles, which you need to do the Prime Wars. Bottled or purple jugs? Is it valuable for vending? I mean, you could sell it to an NPC, but it doesn't give you much. But you can put it in your vending machine and sell it to other players for a good chunk of money, yeah. It's probably something like 100 grand for 1,000 for the gasoline. Maybe even more if you... but it depends on what server you're on and how greedy the players are on that server, I suppose. Food? I wouldn't put gasoline on your food, no. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I think Google is working against you. We're just gonna use one of these and some water. Eat. Oh! Eat! Yeah, food in the belly. Put food in your belly. Got it. Eat. Yeah, doing that probably would have been nice earlier. Oh. Hold on. Get out of the car. Roll, roll. It's gonna blow up. No, it's not. Gold. Gold. And then there's an event here, so we'll go ahead and do that just for the extra acid. These little pinkish purple beams here tend to give you a lot of acid. You can do 6 a day. Make sure you loot the enemies you kill. Those will give you acid. You can get a lot of acid from the public crisis events. People are also doing like oil runs you'll hear about every now and again. You can get a couple rare deviations from doing those. And you also get a bunch of acid from it. So many spiders. I'm gonna turn up the music. I like the music, but it won't let me because it's glitched. Stop what you're doing, spiders! Just need 5 more. 3 more. And I win. Give me my acid. Bam, 35 acid. Done. 12 gasoline, 5 platinum crystals, a deviation, 9 electronics. Good stuff. You do all 6 of those in a day and you won't have any acid issues. Don't pass those things up if you see them. Get them done. They're really short. You can always do them solo. They're so easy to do. Passing those up is like passing up a loot crate that's full of the best items in the game. You're figuring next might be winter. I mean, like, the good thing about playing this current season is that you're learning for the next season, right? So like the next time when a new season starts up, you'll still have all of your blueprints and things like that that you can then use to make yourself stronger for the next season. And you'll also have an opportunity to learn where resources are. You'll already have your base built or designed at the very least. You just have to get the appropriate resources to rebuild it. And you can go and do that super quick.
Go no further. Stop.
So it saves you a lot of time. Right now, I say just enjoy your time and learn all you can to make it easier on yourself for next season. What's with the oil rig? Oil rig. I'm not
Go no further.
sure
Stop.
when that message came in, but I don't recall seeing any oil rig. You might be talking about like a vehicle on the side of the road or something, for all I know. Oil rigs don't give you anything. The only way to get oil is from the out of the ground with the
Please.
water collector,
Go no
water pump. I am back. Welcome back, team player. Those voices in your head are annoying. Stop. Go no further. Yeah. I like to outwardly project my insanity. I like everybody to join me on that ride, you know. Stop, please. Go no further.
Stop.
She says that a lot.
Don't cross it.
Don't cross it. Don't do it.
Go no further.
Must get silver. Diggy boy. Nope. Yeah.
Go no further.
Oh, those oil pumps? Enemy factions spawn near there, and in PvP, you can actually take over one of those places and passively farm oil. But in PvP servers, people can actually come and attack your oil rigs. And you have to fight off other players in order to maintain possession of one of those things. So in PvE servers, they don't do anything. Yeah, on a PvE server like I'm on, you can't use those for anything, unfortunately. They are just for show. We're going to check a couple more places here for some more silver and gold. And then we are going to see if there's any Prime Wars available. Need more silver and gold to try to get this specialized diggy boy. No such luck. Well, we found silver, but No deviation. We've got a couple of special deviations today, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't give me any more. Just karma-wise. The game's probably thinking, you got too much already. You don't get any more. No deviation for you. What's the odds of the deviant? So, they haven't officially came out and said what the odds are. But from everything that players are speculating, the odds are under 1% to get a variation of a deviation. And they're even lower because you can only get... Maybe let me explain it a different way. So you can go and dig up a rock and get a diggy boy, but it's going to your chances of getting one are something like 10%. Okay, and you can only get 2 per hour. And the chances of the diggy boy that you get being a variation, like a gold or a prismatic, are only like 0.5%. And again, if you go for an hour and you get 2 diggy boys, you're not going to get anything else. So you have to wait for another hour, and then you try to get it again. And you wait for another hour and you try to get it again, but you only have 0.5% to get it each time. Otherwise, you just get a generic one. Listen to the thing. Lisa had a little sheep, little sheep, little sheep. Lisa had a little sheep. Its fleece was white as snow. Okay, so go through the door that has a sheep on it. Got it. Go through the door that has a sheep on it. Bam. Puzzle complete. Hey, got me a controller. I hear a lot of things about this game. Game is pretty good. My concern is, do you really lose everything? No, you don't lose everything. So, here, let me show you. I can actually show you that right now, team player. So when the season starts over, one of the main things that you get to keep is your Starcrum, which allows you to purchase blueprints and things like that. Any real world money you put into the game for like the item shops over here, where you go and you buy cosmetics, you get to keep all of those currencies. You get to keep... where is it? You get to keep all of these little blueprints here. You get to keep all of these blueprints that are in here. You get to keep all of your deviations. You get to keep all of your furniture. You get to keep all of your mods, which are shown here in this tab. Like, a lot of these mods here are from my previous season. And any blueprints you unlock, like weapons, most of these I unlocked last season. So you get to keep all of these. What you do lose is your levels and map progress. So you can play back through this. You have to play back through the story, getting your levels back. And you have to rebuild your weapons and armor. But you keep the blueprints, so you can make yourself strong really quick. But you still have to start from the beginning with all the other players. And the reason why they do that is to make sure that there's fair play, so that way new players that are coming into the game aren't always left behind by somebody who's max level with all the maximum stuff. Now, the way season transfers works is if I were to go into my backpack, there's something called the space-time backpack. Now, everything in this space-time backpack is items I collected last season. And if I wanted to, I could transfer these items by just dragging them over here and pull them over, and I can use them right now if I wanted to. But I only have a set number of points I can use. One of the things that people use their points for is for bringing over any important deviations, like your little workers and stuff that you want to bring with you, or like some starting materials, like some ammo or some resources that are going to be hard to get. But you don't really need a lot of that because you're going to be gaining them as you level. It's not like Rust where you lose everything. Do you get to keep your house? Yes. So if you go into the building menu, there's a thing here for house blueprints. If you make a house that you really like the look of, you just click here and you can save your current house and just rebuild it the next season. Very, very easily. Super easy. You get to keep your house and everything. Well, you get to keep your house design. You still need to gather the resources in order to rebuild it, but you do get to keep your house. And you get to keep anything that you unlocked for your house. Like this season, I've unlocked myself some wall lights. I got a spotlight. I've got some wall lights. Some of these blueprints are from last season, so I can decorate my house again. Yeah, you get to keep all that stuff. And you can easily move your house, too. If I wanted to, right here, here's my house. I have it in my hand. I could set this wherever I want. You can't put it on a road, though. You're not allowed to build on the road and block players from driving. But I can move my house wherever I want. Anytime I want. For free. Well, for free once every 10 minutes. If you want to move it before that, you have to pay. But I don't know why you would need to move your house more than once every 10 minutes. But, you know, that's a different story. So, yeah. You get to keep pretty much everything. Except for your levels and your... everything except for your levels and your story progress. You gotta redo the story. Although, you can take an abbreviated version, which is a shorter story. So, you walk up and do a quest. If you've already done that quest in a previous season, it just gives you the rewards rather than make you do the quest again. So, you can choose to play through the story again and enjoy your time doing the story again, if you want. But yeah, it's the fact that you lose everything is honestly been blown way out of proportion. Games like Rust, you lose everything when the server resets. Your resources, your items, anything you purchased, they're just all gone. You don't do that in this game. You get to keep most everything you have. You just have to rebuild it. And that's very easy to do. We have not much time left in the stream because my wife will be starting her work from home progress. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do one last run for blueprints right after we see if there's any Prime Wars. No. So I'll show you my blueprint run. And then we'll get out of here for the day. Ooh, the gearbox respawn. We'll take that. But, yeah. Worst case scenario, the game is free. You try it out, you don't like it, never play it again. And you didn't lose anything for doing it. Oh, these haven't respawned for me yet? Oh, when did I do them last? Oh, well, this one. I must have missed this one. Yeah, but some of these haven't reset. I guess I missed them last time. Why did only some of them reset for me? I don't know. I really must have missed them somehow. Anyway, yeah, we won't do that then. We'll go do something else. There's nothing on the second floor either. Alright. We're gonna go do... Oh, I can show you my low tier runs. Oh, wait. No. Prime more. Do that first. And then we'll go to low tier area to show the routes that I use for those. Because there's some low tier areas that will give you some good resource. Like rubber and things like that that people are always needing to make high tier ammunition. Save me! Ugh. Oh, I survived that fall. Okay, never mind. Oh, I forgot to re-link my butterfly. Whoops. Now my butterfly is not in my cradle. Haha. I bet we don't survive this one. Yeah, there we go. That person really walk away from me while I'm laying here dying? Oi! Oi! You! Come pick me up. Alright, I guess nobody's coming to pick us up. It doesn't sound bad at all. Time consuming in a live service game. I mean, there's not much things in this game that take a lot of time and effort. Like, you can play a couple days a week and still be on par with everybody else on the server. Realistically, the gameplay is a lot of fun. Like, you really don't need a lot to be able to enjoy just running around, shooting the enemies, grabbing all your loot, building up your character. And honestly, for a bulk of the content, you don't even need other players. You can go all the way through this game solo. I pretty much did anyway. Oh no! They moved their cannon and I fell off the end. I fell off the end of the cannon. I'm dying. Pick me up! Hey! What's your name, you jerk? Get back down here. Look at me when I'm yelling at you. Jerk. Is this person gonna pick me up? Is that person gonna do it? Hey, save me. Come on. You know you want to. Nope, that's not how you do it. Look at him. It's like I'm invisible over here. Hello? Don't pick me up? No? Okay, fine. You're all jerks. I hate every one of you. Fine. Don't get extra points in the war. I'll get extra points by healing myself. Just rude. Hop. And push this player off. Push. Go off. Go off the ledge. Haha! Now you fall because you're all jerks. What is this? What is this nonsense? It's like that one painting with the upside down stairs that goes all over the place. What was that? What was that painting called? I don't know what that painting was called. Uh-oh. Now. I got exploded. It's dead, Jim. Doggo. Teddy bear. Hey. Thanks for the heals, buddy. The teddy bear walked up and healed me. Look at it running around healing people. Hey, thanks, Teddy. Top me up, buddy. I like the bear. I really want that thing. I would kill to have that thing. Alright, so what did we get from our boxes? Nothing good, nothing good. This one, use a controller to open it. We got a crit boost, munitions amplifier, weak spot damage. Nothing good. Can't get it. No, I think we discussed that earlier. That bear was originally meant to be on PvP servers only, and they accidentally added it into PvE servers. So a lot of people were getting lucky and getting the bear. When they realized that people could get the bear on PvE servers, they took it away, because it wasn't meant to be on PvE servers. So now, if I want to get it, I have to go to a PvP server. And that would have to be on the next season we play. But I probably won't do that, because I gave up on PvP anything a long time ago. I used to do nothing but competitive PvP shooters until a third of the player base became hackers. And so I don't do it anymore. It's not worth my time. Nobody wants to play fair, so why play at all? That's the way I look at it. I'll go play something I can play fairly and have fun with. And we'll need to interact with that crowd. You did not just bite me. Do you know who you just bit? Oh, how? Bam! See? Now you're getting killed by a fish. This is what you get. This is what you get. Now you lay there in the road, and you go ahead and rot, because I don't need any meat. Just rude. I'm sitting there having a conversation and this thing walks up and tries to bite me in the hip. Like, some wolves these days were not bred with any manners. Roadkill. Look, roadkill is a big thing in the United States. I can't pretend like it's not. There's some places around here where they'll scoop up an animal after running it over. And do all kinds of weird stuff. Cook it up for dinner, skin it, mount it on the wall. It happens. Hey, no judgment. You do what you gotta do. Been there and done that. Do what you gotta do. But I don't know that I'd be proud of it. That's for sure. Hey, jerky is delicious. I absolutely love jerky. Maybe not roadkill jerky, but I don't know. One of my favorite jerkies lately has been that teriyaki jerky, but I have made my own homemade jerky before, and that stuff comes out so good. Like it's there's a huge difference between when you make your own jerky and when you get it in a store. And what I end up doing with mine is we get barbecue sauce and then we mix in a bunch of honey and then a bunch of like crushed peppercorns, and you get a little bit of Tabasco and vinegar, and you put it all in there, and it comes out with like this sweet and sour and spicy taste to it. Oh, it's so good. And because of the way you cook it, of course, it has that little bit of aftertaste of being smoked. Oh my god. I would love to have some more. It's making my mouth water just thinking about it. But like, it's so expensive. Beef in the United States has become so expensive. We rarely eat beef in my house anymore because it's too expensive. Like, freaking, if you try to get yourself a T-bone steak nowadays, you're paying almost $30 a pound. You're paying like, yeah, you're paying something like $30 a pound for a T-bone steak. That's not worth it for one meal. I can pay $30 and maybe eat for a whole day, not just one meal that's only gonna last me for 3 hours. Like, not a goddamn chance. Y'all out of your mind. Inflation has just gotten so bad. Like those ribeye steaks are even worse, especially the ones that have the bone on them. If you get a bone-in ribeye, like you're paying almost $40 a pound for those things. Like they're so expensive. It is not worth the price. I would rather go get me. I could get me a whole chicken for a couple whole chickens for that price and eat for days. Like, it's not worth it. Anytime you might think about Call of Duty, even again, I wonder you're coming from with the cheaters. I mean, I've purchased them and played them. I've played Call of Duties. I've played Battlefields. I prefer Battlefield because there's a little bit bigger of an area, more players, vehicles. But I've played Call of Duties before. Can't remember what the last one was that I played. I think it was like Modern Warfare. The most recent Modern Warfare that came out, I played that one. I played Battlefield 5, but that one didn't last long because the players didn't really seem to embrace that one as a good title for one reason or another. I would go back to playing one. Like, there's that tactical shooter called the Forever Winter that's coming up that I was alluding to earlier. And that one looks like it's going to be pretty good. The most upcoming Call of Duty that's in beta, I had an opportunity to play a little bit of that. It wasn't bad. It's not the best one I think they've ever put out, but if under the right circumstances and if I had a group of people that still enjoyed that style of game, I would definitely go back and play some. The biggest hurdle for me, the reason why I quit playing them was because of hackers. The real reason why I don't get back into them now is because of the barrier to entry called money. It's too expensive to purchase those. Like, the last couple, I've purchased 3 games recently. Well, not recently. The most recent games I purchased probably totaled me about as much as it would cost me to go play one Call of Duty game or one Battlefield game at the base level.
Go no further.
Like, well, let's see. I got a Diggy Boy. Not a good one, but
Go
anyway,
no
I
further.
purchased like Soulmask. I purchased like I've been playing this for free. I played. Let's see, what was the most recent ones? Let's see, Soulmask, Enshrouded was one of them. Planet Crafter, I played. Like, all these games in total were far less than the price of playing Call of Duties, and I'm still playing some of them to this day. Like, you can't say that about a shooter. You play a shooter, and you're done playing it within a few months because you've done all the loops and you've got all the badges. And now the only way to make quote-unquote progress is for them to dip their hands into your wallet and charge you another $50 so that way you can play one more map. And you can purchase skins and you can buy some pay-to-win junk.
Go no further.
I don't need any of that. I can get far more fun and content and hours of gameplay out of purchasing one survival game for $20.
Stop.
I've had more fun playing things like this here, Once Human,
No further.
and this is a free-to-play. And I've had more fun playing things like Valheim, and I paid $20 for that. I've had more fun playing that Icarus that we were playing earlier today, and that one only cost me like $27 when it came out. If the big, I've played a little bit of Genshin, yeah. But the second that Genshin told me I needed to give them money in order to keep going in the dungeons, I uninstalled that game. What was the other one? That Wuthering Waves. That one isn't as greedy as Genshin, and it has much better traversal mechanics. And that one's a free-to-play as well, but they do have a lot of microtransactions in that one too. But it's not as bad as Genshin. It's bad. It's bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad. If the AAA space, like EA and Ubisoft and places like that, would lower their costs to entry to a game, I'd be more willing to go back and play those things. Until then, like, I don't have that kind of money. So I would rather purchase an indie game, 3 to 5 indie games, and have far more hours of fun than to do a shooter that I'm just going to get frustrated in a month because there's people in there hacking. Like, it's not worth my time. It's not worth the price investment. If EA would do more for the players cost-wise to enter their games in the first place, then sure. I'd consider it then. But that's not happening. Big companies like that are complaining that, oh, development costs are too high, so we have to start charging you more money. Which, fine, you have to pay your developers. I get it. Charge what you want to charge. But don't make excuses like it's the developer's fault. Like, it's the CEOs who need more money in their pocket, let's be honest. What they're really trying to do is recoup money from games that are financial failures. What was that most recent game that everybody said that did really bad? Concord, maybe. Was it that one? Was that the one? I think it is. It sounds right. Anyway, that one did really bad. Supposedly they paid a lot of money for it. I feel really bad for the developers because they're probably out of a job, and I really wish they'd keep that job so that way they could keep working on other stuff because they're probably really talented. But man, from what I understand, that game did bad. I didn't even know what the heck Concord was until people told me it did bad. I was like, this was a game? Who made this game? I never even heard of it. Wizards 101. I hear that game did pretty good. That's a free to play. Didn't know Concord was a thing. Yeah, I never even heard of it until somebody told me that it did really bad. A YouTuber that I watch said I bet this game came out and you didn't even know what it was, but it just lost $100 million. I said, excuse me? What is this about? Like, what game is this? I've never even heard of it until somebody told me it was a thing. And to enjoy games without frustrations and stuff. Have a lot of sight for games. Yeah, exactly. I had 2 characters, life and balance, with my wife and Storm. Yeah, see, that's how I met my wife. Obviously, we've talked about that before. But when I met her, Evan, we each had our own characters. But that game had a subscription service, but it wasn't too expensive back then. And when we moved over to Final Fantasy XIV, any player who was paying for a subscription automatically got to keep the original subscription price rather than having to buy a new subscription at the higher price. So they were considered legacy players as a thank you for people continuing to support their games. But eventually my wife stopped playing and I stopped playing because it got to the point where we couldn't keep sustaining subscription models. Because you have subscription models for that, you have subscription models for your internet, you have subscriptions for your TV, you have subscriptions for your phone, you have subscriptions for your fucking for everything. You have subscriptions for subscriptions for subscriptions. Like, it's dumb. Yeah. Is there even anybody in this one? It's an easy war. I don't think anybody's going to show up to this one. No, doesn't seem like there's too many people that are concerned about anything except for what they're doing. Let's see. Do I have any grenades? I think I have grenades. Grenade. Molotov. Grenade. My person's complaining about being hungry. Alright, so we'll go over here. We'll have some jerky. We'll have some jerky. We'll have some beer. Yeah, 4 players. Hey, it's up to 13 right now. There's a couple people showing up. One person's even got a turret. Whee! Hey, we stuck it. Alright, 8. We'll do this last Prime War, and then we're going to call it for sure, because it's almost 11 o'clock. I got to get off so she can log in to work. Go check on her, get her a snack or something if she needs it. Grenade! 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 Boom! Boom! Eat headshots, you demon thing! Alright, now we wait because it's immune. Wasting bullets. Shoot the... Oh, I missed them. Alright, now it's going to duplicate, transform, and attempt to hide amongst its clones. Up, 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 shoot! Any others? Hi, man. It was good talking to you guys. Alrighty. Thank you so much for stopping out, team player. I really appreciate the talk and, of course, for hanging out. 64,000 damage. Alright. Okay, let's go back to base. I'll be on next time I drop by. Fantastic. I'd really enjoy that. Fourth, nice. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. And beyond tomorrow. That's right. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I'm here on Twitch or YouTube And then on Twitch the other days of the week. I keep myself busy. You gonna synchronize? Did it sync? I got a butterfly in my backpack. Alright, anyway. That is going to do it for today. Jeez. Long day of streaming. I'm going to be sore tomorrow, but it was well worth it. Bam. Jeez. Thank you everybody so much for stopping out. I greatly appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed today's long stream and you will stop back out again tomorrow because we will be in fact doing even more Once Human. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But there's also plenty of more videos coming up on my channel. We're doing some recording for some new series, and we'll have even more new games when we have the opportunity to put them out. Our final first Descendant comes out tomorrow, and then of course shortly after that we will have a supercut for that one coming out, so that way you can one cut if you'd like. And the following week we will have the premiere of Once Human coming out. Hopefully you all enjoy that. It will be just a story like the first Descendant was, but we're gonna have a whole new season in October coming out with a whole new story for Once Human. So we're gonna have all that to do. Hopefully you'll stop out live for those playthroughs. We're gonna be doing a lot of new games here soon. At any rate, that's me done for the day. So take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, stay healthy out there, and I will see you on the next one. Bye everybody.